Okay, good morning. So, in yesterday's class, we have seen a brief scenario of storage in our country and what are the reasons for post harvest losses, what are the major factors favoring multiplication of insect pests. We have discussed a bit of it in detail. Then we have seen the uh, uh, points from which we can have insect infestation, that is the sources of insect infestation. And we discussed about the types of infestation. We have discussed about horizontal, vertical, latent, and cross infestation. So I will ask for one of you to unmute, and what is cross infestation? Sandra, what is cross
Yes, sir.
infestation? Do you remember?
Previously stacked grains
Ah,
used in
yes, that's
infestation.
fine, fine. Okay. Then Marina, what is latent infestation? Unmute yourself. Do you remember?
Sir, infestation from hidden cracks and
Okay, okay, fine,
crevices.
fine. Okay, now you're following it. Okay, fine. That's the only thing. Just checking whether you're following it or not. Okay. Now, today we will be seeing the insect pests, what are the pests infesting storage, and before that we will see a classification of storage. But that is important because from this at least one or two questions will be asked, mainly with respect to objective or one-word questions like that. This year also, the JRF had one question from this two slides. So remember it carefully. So we have two types of classification of storage pests. One is based on the position of damage, and the second classification is based on the type of grains damage. I will repeat, storage pests are classified based on the position of damage and the type of grain damage. It is pretty easy to understand, it's not that difficult. Based on the position of damage means whether the insect feeds the grains from outside or inside. That is the position. If the insect is feeding the grain from the outside, that type of insect pest is called as external feeder. And if a pest is feeding the grain from inside the grain, it is called as an internal feeder. I will repeat, the insect which feeds the grain from outside, it remains outside and feed the grain from outside, it is called as an external feeder. If the insect bores into the grain and feeds in the inner contents of the grain, that kind of storage pests are called as internal feeder. So based on the position from which the insect damages the grain, the insects can be classified as external feeders and internal feeder. One the advantage with an external feeder is if the damage is caused by an external feeder insect, it is pretty easy for us to detect insect infestation because we will be able to see the insect because insect will be remaining outside the grain. But an internal feeder, it is bit difficult because in the case of an internal feeder, insect is remaining inside the grain and we may not be able to detect the infestation at the right time. So internal feeder infestations are pretty more serious compared to external feeder. I will give an example that you might be easy to understand, that may be easy for you to understand. Take the case of pulse beetle. നമ്മളെ വീട്ടിൽ ചെറുപയറൊക്കെ മേടിക്കുമ്പോൾ you may not see insect pest outside whenever once you purchase the packet. You may not see an insect in outside the grain. But once you keep the packet for 3 weeks or 1 month, you can see damage caused by insect because that insect, the pulse beetle or the brookid is an internal feeder. It was already inside the grain and were unable to detect the insect and the insect multiplied inside the grain, and once the damage has been done, then only you will understand whether the insect is present or not. But for external feeder, pretty easy to understand. You might have seen in atta, rava, etc., or any wheat flour, you might have seen some reddish colored beetles. Tribolium, we call it as tribolium or red flower beetle. And once you see it, or once you take out the flower itself, you can see it. You can detect the insect. You can see it in the external itself. So those kind of insects are called as external feeder, while those are feeding inside the grains are called as internal feeders. External feeder, I have given a few examples. We will discuss about it in the subsequent slides also. One is Capra beetle, Trogodoma granarium. The next one is red flower beetle, that is Tribolium. Then we have sawtooth grain beetle, Oreizephyllus surinamensis. We will come to scientific name and all later. Don't worry. Then we have Indian mealmoth Plodia interpunctella. And coming to the internal feeders, we have, as discussed, pulse beetle. Then we have rice weevil, Cytophilus oryzae, and we have an anguimous green moth, Cytotroga serialis. So this is the classification based on the position of damage of insects to a stored grain. Then based on the type of grains damage, because certain insects has the ability to damage whole grains or sound grain. Sound grain എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒട്ടും ഡാമേജ് പറ്റാത്ത പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള grain. So certain insects have the ability to damage sound grains or whole grain. But certain insect doesn't have the ability to damage whole grains or sound grains. It will damage only those grains which is broken or already damaged. So those insects which has the ability to damage whole grains or sound grains, these are called as primary storage pests. And those insects which are able to damage only already damaged or broken grains are called as secondary storage pests. So usually what happens is that the grains will be first attacked by a primary storage pest, because it has, whenever we store a grain, we normally store only whole grains or sound grains. We usually discard damaged grains. നമ്മൾ സാധനങ്ങൾ സൂക്ഷിക്കുമ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ചെയ്യുന്ന എന്താ, അരിയൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ സൂക്ഷിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിനു മുമ്പ് ചേറി, ഞങ്ങളുടെ നാട്ടിൽ പറയും പാറ്റി എടുത്തു വെക്കുക എന്ന്. നമ്മൾ ഒന്ന് വിന്നോ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് എടുത്തു വെക്കുക. വിന്നോ ചെയ്യുന്നതിന്റെ ഉദ്ദേശം എന്താണ്? ഇനി ഡാമേജ്ഡ് grains or broken grains we will discard. So we usually store a whole grain or sound grain. But there are insect pests such as rice weevil, that is Cytophilus, pulse beetle, Rhizopertha, Cytotroga, Trogoderma, etc., which has the ability to damage whole grains or sound grains. These are primary storage pests. So it will start damaging, this primary storage pest starts damaging the grains. Once the grains are already damaged, then comes the secondary storage pest, which can attack only those grains which are already damaged. So then comes red flower beetle or sawtooth grain beetle, which are secondary storage pests. So primary storage pests are the one which usually attack the grains first, and secondary storage pest follows primary storage pest. So the meaning is, literal meaning is same as that of primary storage pest and secondary storage pest. So are you clear regarding the classification? Classification based on position, classification based on type of grain damaged. Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Fine. Fine. Then this we have discussed a part of this. We have discussed, but still we have not discussed that. We will. So what are the characteristics of stored grain pest? And one thing is, there is no diapause for storage pest, and it can reproduce all the year round. That I we told, because The parameters, the weather parameters inside the godowns are extremely favorable for the multiplication of insect pests. So they don't have the need to go for a diapose. But those insects in the Western countries will go enter diapose because they have extreme weather events. And as already told, it has short developmental period and has several generations, it has high fecundity, less exposed to natural enemies, all those things we discussed. And one thing is, it exhibits a phenomenon called as thanastosis or feigning death. Once you touch many storage beds, especially as tribolium and all, it will lie as if it is dead. ചത്ത പോലെ കിടക്കും, അനങ്ങാതെ കിടക്കും. And you leave the insect for a few seconds or few minutes, you can see that that insect will uh, again start moving. So it ഈ കളിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ചത്ത പോലെ കിടക്കുന്ന ഒരു സ്വഭാവം, that is called as, that phenomenon is called as thanastosis. So insect storage insects has the phenomenon of thanastosis. There are several field pests also have the same phenomenon. And one more thing, most of the storage pests are negatively phototactic. That means it move away from light. There are certain insects which are positively phototactic, storage pests which are positively phototactic. That means it is attracted to light. But most of the storage pests are negatively phototactic. That you can understand. These storage godowns are not at all ventilated. It will be always dark in color, dark in nature. We won't light the godowns. So it's natural to have the storage pests as negatively phototactic. And one more thing, we might have studied about several orders of insects attacking crops, starting from say grasshoppers, the Orthoptera, then Hemiptera, Thysanoptera, Coleoptera, Lepidoptera, Diptera, so many you might have studied. But the storage pest belongs to two orders, Coleoptera as well as Lepidoptera. And one more order is also there, that is Socotra, but it is extremely minor. We don't, in India as such, we don't consider Socotra as a major pest, but in Western countries and all, especially Australia and all, consider Socotra as a major pest of storage. But India doesn't consider, I will discuss about it later when we come to Socotra. But 99.9% of the insect pests attacking stored grains belong to these two orders, Coleoptera and Lepidoptera. We don't have so many orders. We don't have an Hemipteran, we don't have a Dipteran, we don't have an Orthopteran attacking storage pests. So stored grain. So this is another feature of stored grain pests. And I am listing the storage pests. I will give the slides. I will be attaching the PDF of this slide so you can note it down or you can have the notes. If someone is noting down the things, okay, that's also fine. Anyway, I will be giving the recorded. Yesterday's class also I have uploaded in the Moodle. If you something you have missed it out while writing down the notes, you can note it down by viewing the classes again. I have ordered I have grouped the insects into coleopterans and lepidopterans. First, we will discuss about coleopterans and not given the list as per the importance. I have just classified the given a classification based on coleopterans and lepidopterans. And among the coleopterans, one family is Cucugidae. We may not have studied a family called Cucugidae in field pest. But Cucugidae is a family which contains a storage pest called as Cryptolestes ferruginous. Its common name is flat grain beetle. Cryptolestes ferruginous flat grain beetle. It's a minor pest. But the second family, Dermistidae. Dermistidae is also we don't normally find in field pests. Dermistidae we have a pest called as Capra beetle. Its scientific name is Trogoderma granarium. It's a major pest. We will discuss about Capra beetle in the subsequent slides. So the second insect is Capra beetle, Trogoderma granarium, belonging to the family Dermistidae. Then we have a family called Sylvanidae. This Sylvanidae family contains a pest called saw-toothed grain beetle. Saw-toothed grain beetle. The scientific name is Oreicephilus surinamensis. Oreicephilus surinamensis. The next family is Tenebrionidae. This Tenebrionidae family has two pests. Actually, if we consider the species, then we have three, and not included three, but consider we have two to three pests in Tenebrionidae family. The first one is rust red flower beetle or red flower beetle. The scientific name is Tribolium castaneum. This Tribolium castaneum is a major pest storage all over the world. We have another species of Tribolium yeah, in several parts of the world. It's Tribolium confusum. Tribolium confusum. In India, the confusum species is not that popular. So we normally discuss about Tribolium castaneum alone. Then we have a minor pest in Trainbriodinae family, that is long-headed flower beetle, Latheticus oryzae. So the first family was Cuculidae containing flat grain beetle Cryptolestes ferruginous. Then we have Capra beetle, a major pest belonging to the family Dermistidae, Propoderma granarium. Then we have Oreicephilus surinamensis, saw-toothed grain beetle belonging to the family Sylvanidae. Then we have the Tenebrionid family, Tribolium castaneum, rusted flower beetle, and Latheticus oryzae, long-headed flower beetle. So, sorry, one slide I missed. That's right. Oh, there are the other groups. Okay. Then another family is Anobidae. This Anobidae, we have two insect pests, cigarette beetle and drugstore beetle. Anobidae, we have two pests, cigarette beetle and drugstore beetle. Cigarette beetle, the scientific name is Lesioderma sericoni, and drugstore beetle, it is Stigobium paniceum. Cigarette beetle is Lesioderma sericoni, drugstore beetle is Stigobium paniceum. So Anobidae, these two are important. Though you may not identify this, but this is very common in our household, both these pests. And the next family is Anthribidae. Anthribidae, it's coffee bean weevil, Araceus fasciculatus. Here, this Anthribidae we normally doesn't see over here because it's mainly a pest of coffee. Sometimes we have reports of this Araceus fasciculatus infesting nutmeg. So that's the importance in our area. Then comes a major pest, lesser grain borer, Rhizoperta dominica, belonging to the family Bostrichidae. We have the a Bostrichid pest, that is Rhizoperta dominica. The common name is lesser grain borer. Then we discussed several times yesterday and today also the pulse beetle. The scientific name is Calosobruchus. We have three species of Calosobruchus: Calosobruchus maculatus, chinensis, and analis. So Calosobruchus maculatus, chinensis, and analis. These three are the most common species of Calosobruchus in our country, and it belongs to the family Chrysomelidae and subfamily Bruchinae. Earlier, it was considered as Bruchidae family. Now it is changed to the family Chrysomelidae and subfamily Bruchinae. Then the next pest belonging to the Chrysomelidae family is tamarind or groundnut beetle, Caryodon serratus. We don't normally see this. I haven't seen Caryodon serratus yet, but in Tamil Nadu and all, where tamarind is a major crop, and groundnut also, we have this Caryodon serratus. Then another major pest all over our country is rice weevil, belonging to the, as it is a weevil, the family is pretty known to you, Curculionidae. Scientific name is Cytophilus oryzae. So we have family Anobidae comprising cigarette beetle and drugstore beetle. Cigarette beetle is Lesioderma sericoni. Drugstore beetle is Stigobium paniceum. Then we have coffee bean weevil. It's a minor pest. Scientific name is Araceus fasciculatus, belonging to the family Anthribidae. Then we have lesser grain borer, Rhizoperta dominica, belonging to the family Bostrichidae. Then we have pulse beetle, Calosoprochus maculatus, chinensis, and analis, family Chrysomelidae and subfamily Brucinae. Then we, in the same family, we have tamarind or groundnut beetle, Caryodon serratus. Then a weevil pest, that is a Curculionid, Cytophilus oryzae. So these two slides comprises, if you count the number, then it will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This 12 completes the coleopteran pests of storage. You don't have large number of insect pests in storage. The number of insects, the number of scientific names, many of you are extremely afraid of studying scientific names. But the storage pest, the number of scientific names to be learned is extremely small. Then coming to the next set, that is the Lepidopteran pest. The Lepidopteran pest, we have only 4. So that means earlier we had 12 in Coleoptera, in Lepidoptera we have 4. The total it will be 16. You have to remember only 16 scientific names. Or among the Lepidopterans, we have the family, first family is Gelichidae. Angumo is grain moth. The scientific name is Cytotroga serialella. Cytotroga serialella. The common name is Angumois grain moth belonging to the family Gelichidae. Then we have the next one that is pretty familiar to you, Coursera cephalonica, rice moth belonging to the family Galleridae. So how you came to know about Coursera or rice moth? Where you have studied rice moth, Coursera? No one? Trichogramma, yes, rearing of Trichogramma. It is a factitious host. It is a factitious host for rearing Trichogramma. Our BCCP, Madhusa's lab, rears Coursera for mass multiplication of Trichogramma. Then the next is a family Phycetidae, where we have 2 insect pests. The first one is Cadragautella, fig or almond moth, and the next one is Plodia interpunctella, Indian meal moth. So in Phycetidae, we have Cadragautella, that is the fig and almond moth, and the Plodia interpunctella, that is Indian meal moth. So this is the list of storage pests. Shall I repeat it again, or is it okay? Shall I move to individual pests one by one? Okay or not? Okay, fine. So this completes the list. And coming to the insect pests one by one, see, remember whenever you are writing or discussing about, I'm not going into the slides first, but whenever I am discussing about a storage pest, remember few things. First thing is I will be discussing its characters. These characters will be morphological characters, will be hardly 2 or 3 in nature. Typical identifying features only will be discussed, not detail. So I will try to show all the pictures so you can understand what is there in the you can understand what is it's pretty easy to understand how the insect looks like. And the second thing is invariably you should study whether it is an internal feeder or an external feeder, whether it is a primary pest or a storage pest. So that you have to understand for each and every pest. And next, which are all the crops its damages. So understand whether it is an internal feeder or an external feeder. Check whether it is a primary pest or a secondary pest, and what are the commodities its damage, apart from the morphological characters. The morphological characters mainly we discuss about antennae, legs and all, but it is pretty easy to understand. And one more thing I will discuss about it is the size. Most of the storage pests, the size is about 3 millimeter. Most of the storage space, it is about 3 millimeters. So you can have an idea what is the size of a storage space. It is extremely small. So coming to the first pest, I will be discussing Lasioderma cericone belonging to the family Anobidae. The adults are 3 to 4 mm, brown and globular. See this insect. You may not be able to appreciate the size of the insect, but you can see it is brown in color and it is globular in nature. So that is insect is 3 to 4 mm in size, brown, globular. The antennae is long and serrate. I will show a picture of it. See it. I think now you will appreciate. You may have studied this types of antennae in the first course. So the antennae is serrate. Typical. This is a typical character. We have to differentiate between two anoid buds. That's why I'm particularly focusing on it. The antennae is serrate. One more typical character is elytra is smooth with fine hairs. See the elytra. It has very fine hairs and elytra is smooth. Because another the next pest I will be discussing what is the difference between Lasioderma and Stigobia. In Lasioderma, the elytra is smooth. You can see extremely fine hairs on the elytra, and it is a primary as well as secondary pest because it can attack both whole grains as well as damaged grain. So that's why it is considered as a primary pest as well as a secondary pest, and these are internal feeders. So it is primary pest as well as a secondary pest, and it is these are mainly internal feeder. Only the grubs damage. The adults are non-feeding, short-lived, but the grubs bore into the grain and feed inside the grain. And see the commodities it attacks. It attacks spices, dry fruits, cocoa. In your household, if നിങ്ങള് വീട്ടില് പഴയ മല്ലിയോ മറ്റോ ഇരിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ മല്ലിയിലൊക്കെയാണ് നമ്മൾ ജീരകം മല്ലി ജീരകം ഇതൊക്കെ നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിൽ പഴയത് ഏതെങ്കിലും ബോട്ടിൽ ഇരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട് എന്നിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ആ പാത്രം ഒന്ന് എടുത്തു നോക്കുക പാത്രത്തിന്റെ അടിയിൽ പൊടി കിടക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ എന്ന് നോക്കുക മല്ലിയുടെ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ജീരകത്തിന്റെ അടിയിലൊക്കെ പൊടി കിടക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഉറപ്പിച്ചോളൂ അതിന്റെ അകത്ത് സിഗരറ്റ് ബീറ്റിലോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ നെക്സ്റ്റ് പെസ്റ്റ് അതായത് മറ്റേ ഡ്രഗ് സ്റ്റോർ ബീറ്റിലോ ഉണ്ടാവും രണ്ടിൽ ഏതെങ്കിലും ഒന്നായിരിക്കും ഉണ്ടാവുക സോ ഇറ്റ് ഹാസ് ദി എബിലിറ്റി ടു അറ്റാക്ക് സ്പൈസസ് ദ സ്പൈസസ് നമുക്കറിയാം it's very difficult to eat spices on a whole. Though we add a bit of spices to our preparations, it's difficult to feed on it continuously. But this insect has the ability to feed on spices. It feeds on dry fruits. It feeds on cocoa. So the adults, the size is 3 to 4 mm. It is brown in color. It is globular in nature. The elytra is covered with very fine hairs, and elytra is smooth, and the antenna is serrate in nature. It's an it's a primary as well as a secondary pest. It's an internal feeder. Only the grubs damage. You can see the grubs. Only the grubs damage. Adults are non-feeding and short-lived. One thing I will request is that if you have any doubt, you unmute yourself and ask then and there itself. You can interrupt me at any point of time, no issues. If you type it in the chat box, when I am presenting, I won't be able to view the chat box because I will be concentrating on the slides. So I won't be able to view the chat box. That's why if you face any difficulty, interrupt me there itself. You unmute yourself and ask for any clarification. Okay. Okay. And why it is called a cigarette beetle is this? It has the ability to feed on tobacco. See this cigarettes. You can see numerous holes on the cigarette. This is because of the damage of Lasioderma. That's why it is called as cigarette beetle. You can imagine we consider tobacco as a carcinogenic agent, tobacco as a very good botanical insecticide, but we have an insect which survives, thrives well on tobacco. It doesn't cause any cancer to that insect pest, and it doesn't kill. Tobacco doesn't kill. The nicotine doesn't kill insect also. So these insects has the ability to detoxify nicotine. So this is how the insect evolved over time. So this is here I haven't seen. This is a picture I got from internet. I haven't seen tobacco infested with Lasioderma, but I have seen spices and all infested with Lasioderma, but not tobacco. Next come it is drugstore beetle. I will show the differences first. See, can someone identify the differences between the earlier Lasioderma and Stigobium? ബാലരമേലെ ചോദ്യമാണ്. വ്യത്യാസം പറയാമോ? Pits on elytra. That is one thing. The elytra is not smooth. Hard elytra. Elongated. അത് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഞാൻ പിക്ചർ പിടിച്ച് വലിച്ചപ്പോൾ elongated ആയതായിരിക്കും. Yes, it is antenna. Elytra is not smooth and the antenna, it is not serrate. It is last three segments are clubbed in nature. Elongated ആണെന്ന് വിചാരിക്കണ്ട കേട്ടോ. അത് ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മൾ ഈ പിക്ചർ ചിലപ്പോൾ സ്ലൈഡിലേക്ക് ഇടുമ്പോൾ വലിച്ചപ്പോൾ എങ്ങനെ ഇലോങ്ങേറ്റഡ് ആയി പോയതാവാനേ വഴിയുള്ളൂ. It's also globular in nature. It's not elongated. Don't think it is elongated. The size is same. The color is same as Lasioderma stigobium. Both they are brown in color. It is globular in nature. It is 3 to 4 mm. 3 to 4 mm brown and globular. And the difference is that antenna, the elytra is not smooth. Elytra, you can see, elytra is fine with longitudinal, with fine longitudinal ridges, as you have told. Elytra is with having fine longitudinal ridges and fine hairs are there. Both of them are having very fine hairs. And the antenna, the last three segments are clubbed, 1, 2, and 3. Here it is extremely clear. See the serrations, longitudinal serrations on the elytra. I think now you may appreciate it is globular in nature. It's not elongated. Elytra covered with fine hairs. The last three segments are clubbed. It is not serrate. This is the way we identify Lasioderma and Stigobium. We need a microscope, but in a microscope we can easily distinguish between Lasioderma and Stigobium. And rest all things are same. Lasioderma and Stigobium, rest all characters are same. It is a primary as well as secondary pest. It is an internal feeder. Only the grubs damage. Adults are non-feeding, and it attacks nuts, herbs, spices. You can remember spices: nuts, herbs, spices, seeds, grains, etc. It is it damages wide number of commodities, and it is also known to damage bread, and hence it is also called as bread borer. But I haven't seen anywhere it damaging bread. But literature says it has the ability to damage bread, so it is also called as bread borer. So identify the differences. It is elytra, fine longitudinal ridges. Antenna is clubbed. Last three segments are clubbed. The size, color, shape, and all same. 3 to 4 mm brown and globular. Primary and secondary pest. Internal feeder. Damages mainly spices. So if you compare Stigobium and Lasioderma, it is pretty easy to study. Both are having the similar characters except for antenna and elytra. Okay. One thing you can do is, if someone of you check നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടിൽ പോയിട്ട് എൻ്റെ ഒരു കസിൻ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ കസിൻ ഇടയ്ക്കിടയ്ക്ക് കസിന്റെ വീട്ടില് ഫ്രിഡ്ജും സ്റ്റോർ റൂമും റെയ്ഡ് ചെയ്യാന്ന് പറയും കസിന് ഫ്രീ ടൈം ഉള്ളപ്പോ. അപ്പൊ അതിന്റെ ഉദ്ദേശം എന്താണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, ഈ നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിലൊക്കെ ഫ്രിഡ്ജിലും സ്റ്റോറിലും ഒക്കെ കുറെ അധികം സാധനങ്ങൾ ഇങ്ങനെ സൂക്ഷിച്ചു വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. കാലങ്ങളായിട്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കുറെ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങളും ഇന്നൊന്ന് നിങ്ങളുടെ വീട്ടില് സ്റ്റോർ റൂം ഒന്ന്, ഫ്രിഡ്ജ് റെയ്ഡ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് കാര്യമൊന്നുമില്ല, കാരണം ഇത് ഇൻസെക്ട് പെസ്റ്റിനും കിട്ടാൻ പോകുന്നില്ല. നിങ്ങളുടെ സ്റ്റോർ റൂം ഒന്ന് റെയ്ഡ് ചെയ്യുക, വീട്ടിലെ സാധനങ്ങളൊക്കെ വെക്കുന്ന. അപ്പൊ അവിടെ ചില പാത്രങ്ങളിൽ പഴയതൊക്കെ ഇരിക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. നിങ്ങൾ ആ പാത്രങ്ങളിൽ നോക്കുക, എന്തെങ്കിലുമൊക്കെ പ്രാണികൾ ഉണ്ടോ എന്ന് നോക്കുക. നൗ മോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് യു ഹാവ് വെരി ഗുഡ് ക്യാമറാസ്, മൊബൈൽ ക്യാമറാസ്. ഒരു കാര്യം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചെയ്യാവുന്നത്, ഇൻസെക്റ്റിനെ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അനങ്ങാതെ കിട്ടണം ഫോട്ടോ എടുക്കണമെങ്കിൽ. ഒരു കാര്യം ചെയ്യുക, ആ ഇൻസെക്ടിനെ നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പാത്രത്തിൽ വെച്ചേച്ച് ഒരു 15-20 മിനിറ്റ് ഫ്രീസറിൽ വെച്ചേക്ക്, ഫ്രിഡ്ജിൽ. അരമണിക്കൂർ ഇരുന്നോട്ടെ, കുഴപ്പമൊന്നുമില്ല. നിങ്ങളുടെ കയ്യിൽ കില്ലിംഗ് ഏജന്റ് ഒന്നും വേണ്ട, അതിനൊരു അരമണിക്കൂർ ഫ്രീസറിൽ വെച്ചേക്ക്. അരമണിക്കൂർ ഫ്രീസറിൽ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് അനങ്ങാതിരിക്കും കുറച്ചു നേരത്തേക്ക്. ആ അനങ്ങാതിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ നിങ്ങൾ നന്നായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് മാക്രോ ഒക്കെ എടുക്കാവുന്ന നല്ല മൊബൈൽ ഫോൺസ് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടാവും. ഇല്ലെങ്കിൽ നല്ല ഫോക്കസ് ഔട്ട് ആവാത്ത രീതിയിൽ ഫോട്ടോ എടുത്തേച്ച് നിങ്ങളൊന്ന് എൻലാർജ് ചെയ്ത് നോക്കുക. ദിസ് ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് യു വിൽ ബി ഏബിൾ ടു സീ. ആന്റിന നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഡിഫിക്കൽട്ട് ആയിരിക്കും. കാരണം എന്താന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഈ പറഞ്ഞ രീതിയിൽ നിങ്ങൾ ഫോട്ടോയെ കണ്ട രീതിയിൽ ആന്റിന പുറത്ത് വരില്ല ഇതിന്റെ. നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും അതിനെ ഒന്ന് മറിച്ചിട്ടൊക്കെ നോക്കും. ആന്റിന തീരെ ചെറുതാണ്. നിങ്ങൾ നോക്കിയപ്പോ കണ്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും 5 സെഗ്മെന്റ്സോ മറ്റേ ഉള്ളൂ. അതും തീരെ ചെറുതാണ്. അപ്പൊ ഇൻസെക്ടിന്റെ ബോഡിയോട് ചേർന്നായിരിക്കും ഇരിക്കുക. അപ്പൊ ചിലപ്പോ ആന്റിന ക്ലിയർ ആവണമെന്നില്ല. എന്നിട്ട് നിങ്ങളുടെ ഗ്രൂപ്പ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, ആ ഗ്രൂപ്പിൽ ഒന്ന് പോസ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യും. അപ്പൊ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കാണാം എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഇത് ഇരിക്കുന്നതെന്ന് ഓരോ ഇൻസെക്ട്. ഈസിയാണ്. ഇതെല്ലാം നമ്മളുടെ കോമൺ ആയിട്ട് കാണുന്ന ഇൻസെക്ട് ആണ്. നമ്മൾ പലപ്പോഴും അതിനെ തിരിച്ചറിയാതെ പോകുന്നു എന്നേ ഉള്ളൂ. ഓക്കെ, വി വിൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂ. And coming to the next one, coffee bean weevil, Araceus fasciculatus. Araceus fasciculatus, mainly it is in Kerala, it is seen in nutmeg. Anyone, if you have nutmeg in their home? Anyone from Thrissur and Ernakulam district who have? Arulla. എറണാകുളം തൃശ്ശൂരും എല്ലാം ഉള്ളു, ബാക്കി എല്ലാ ഭാഗത്തും ഉണ്ട്. നോ, ആരുടെയിലും ഇല്ല. അപ്പോ ദോസ് ഫാമേഴ്സ് യൂഷ്വലി സ്റ്റോർ നട്ട്മെഗ് ഫോർ 3 to 4 months. നമ്മളെ ആരും ജാതിക്ക് ഉണക്കി സൂക്ഷിക്കും കുറച്ചു കാലം, അപ്പോ വിൽക്കില്ല. നോ, ദ ട്രേഡ് ഇസ് സ്ലോലി ചേഞ്ചിങ്. നിങ്ങളുടെ ഒരു ഇൻഫർമേഷൻ ആയിട്ട് പറയുകയാണ്, നിങ്ങള് സ്പൈസസ് കോഴ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞോ? സ്പൈസസിന്റെ കോഴ്സ് കഴിഞ്ഞോ നിങ്ങൾ? യെസ്. അപ്പോ nutmeg is, you might have studied nutmeg as well as maize is dried and marketed. But major problem, maize is still dried and marketed, but nutmeg, the trade is slowly changing. In nutmeg, though there is still a market for dried nutmeg, nowadays, especially in Ernakulam district and all, there are traders who procure fresh nutmeg, not dried nutmeg. അതായത് പച്ചക്കായ എടുക്കും, not dried nutmeg. And what they will do is they will cut the nutmeg into 4, the fresh nutmeg into 4, and then dry it. Because there is no use for whole nutmeg in any culinary purpose. Whatever be the purpose, whether it is in Ayurvedic industry or in food industry, whole nutmeg is not at all used. Only powdered nutmeg is used. അതായത് ജാതിക്ക മുഴുവനായിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ജാതി പത്രി ബിരിയാണിയിലൊക്കെ ഇടും, പത്രിയായിട്ട് തന്നെ ബിരിയാണിയിലിടും. പക്ഷെ ജാതിക്ക അങ്ങനെ ഒന്നിനും നിങ്ങൾ ജാതിക്ക പൊട്ടിച്ച് നോക്കിയിട്ട് അതിന്റെ തോട് പൊട്ടിച്ച് നോക്കി അതിന്റെ അകത്ത് ആ പരിപ്പ് എന്ന് പറയും. ആ പരിപ്പ് നമ്മൾ അസച്ച് വേറെ ഒന്നിനും യൂസ് ചെയ്യില്ല, പരിപ്പായിട്ട് യൂസ് ചെയ്യില്ല. അത് പരിപ്പ് പൊടിച്ചാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. എക്സ്പോർട്ടിൽ വരുന്ന ഒരു മേജർ ഡ്രോബാക്ക് എന്താണെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ, ഇഫ് ദ ഡ്രൈയിങ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് പ്രോപ്പർ, ദ ഇന്നർ കോർ ഓഫ് ദാറ്റ് നട്ട്മെഗ്, നമ്മളെ പരിപ്പിന്റെ ഏറ്റവും ഉള്ളിലെ ഭാഗം, ഇറ്റ് മേ നോട്ട് ബി ഡ്രൈഡ് പ്രോപ്പർലി ആൻഡ് ഇറ്റ് വിൽ ഹാവ് ഫംഗൽ കണ്ടാമിനേഷൻ, എസ്പെഷ്യലി അഫ്ലാടോക്സിൻ, ആസ്പെർജില്ലസ്. അപ്പൊ അത് എക്സ്പോർട്ടിൽ ഒത്തിരി റിജക്ഷൻസ്, ഒരു സമയത്ത് കേരളത്തിന്റെ എക്സ്പോർട്ട്, നട്ട്മെഗ് എക്സ്പോർട്ട് ഒത്തിരി പുറമേ നിന്ന് റിജക്ഷൻസ് വന്നു. So normally exporters shifted over to this, because if you split the nutmeg into 4 and then dry it, the drying will be extremely proper and there is no chance of contamination. Then they can powder it and export it. ആ ട്രേഡ് അങ്ങനെ മാറിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണ്. ഇപ്പൊ നിങ്ങളോട് ആ ഒരു ട്രേഡിലെ ഡിഫറൻസ് പറഞ്ഞെന്നുള്ളൂ. ബട്ട് ഈവൻ ഇഫ് വി ആർ സ്റ്റോറിംഗ് നട്ട്മെഗ്, stored nutmeg, the Araceus fasciculatus is a major pest, coffee bean weevil, Andropidae. The family is Andropidae. It's very rare to see this pest, but if you check with any nutmeg farmer in your neighborhood, there's a ജാതിക്ക കുത്തിപ്പോയി എന്നാണ് അവർ പറയുക. വാക്ക് ജാതിക്ക് കുത്തിപ്പോയി എന്നാണ്. So that insect which damages nutmeg is Aracidus fasciculatus. It is the size is slightly bigger compared to Lesioderma and Stigopin, 3 to 5 mm. It's slightly bigger, globular with long legs and antennae. See this. Lesioderma and Stigopin, I told you, antennae is pretty small. It will be difficult to identify. But here we have long legs as well as antennae. And see the antennae, the last three segments are clubbed in nature. This is slightly bigger in size. And elytra is patterned with the light and dark patches giving a checkered appearance. See this. Maybe a pattern of chessboard or something, light and white and black patches. So the elytra is having light and dark patches. It is having a checkered appearance. And the antenna, I told you, last three segments are clubbed. It is a primary pest, it's not a secondary pest, it's a primary pest of cocoa, coffee, nutmeg, cardamom, ginger, garlic, onion, and mace. But remember cocoa, coffee, and nutmeg. This is it. There is a primary pest as well as an internal feeder. It's a minor pest, but we may encounter it in Kerala situations, mainly in nutmeg. So it is 3 to 5 mm in nature. It is 5 mm size, globular with long legs and antennae. The elytra is having a checkered appearance with light and dark patches. Antennae is three segmented club. It is a primary feeder as well as an internal feeder. See this. This is the way the insect looks like. Here the patterns are extremely clear. Light and dark patches, long legs and long antennae. Coming to the next, that is lesser grain borer Rhizoperta dominica belonging to the family Bostrichidae. This is a major pest. You have to remember it. It's an extremely important pest. This is mainly attacking cereal pest. Mainly attacking cereals, so it is a cereal pest. So Bostrichidae family, it is having a typical nature. Here you see here, this is thorax. Don't think this as a head. This is thorax, this is abdomen, and see the head. If you see from the side, you can see the head is bent downwards and concealed under the thorax. That is a typical feature of the family Bostrichidae. You won't be able to see head as such. If you see from the top, you will see only thorax and abdomen. And if you see from the side, you can see the head is bent downwards and concealed under the thorax. That is one typical feature of Bostrichidae family. And Rhizoperta also is having the same character. Head is bent downward and concealed. And the adult size is 3 mm. That is small, dark reddish brown in color, cylindrical in cross section. See, this is almost cylindrical in shape. It is 3 mm in size. See, here you can see it is 2.7 mm. This is very small, dark brown to black. Normally the color is black when we see in normal situations, but it can be brown also. So it can be brown, dark brown, reddish brown or black. And tip of the abdomen is tapered. See, it tapers towards the tip of the abdomen. So you can see it tapers towards the tip of the abdomen, and you can see it clearly. This is the abdomen, this is the thorax, and here you can see the head bent downwards and concealed under the thorax. So adults 3 mm in size, dark reddish brown, cylindrical in cross section, and tip of abdomen is tapered. It is a primary pest. It is an internal feeder. Remember, it is a primary pest. It is an internal feeder. It is mostly feeds on cereals. I told you, both adults as well as grubs are damaging. The earlier three pests, only the grubs were damaging. Here, the adults as well as the grubs are damaging. Both adults as well as grubs feed on wheat, rice, maize, sorghum, etc. That means almost all cereals. It is an internal feeder. It feeds on the grain from the inside, and the grains will be converted into shell. Only the shell will be remaining with numerous holes. And it produce excreta, it produce frass and spoil the grain, and it convert the grain into flour. നിങ്ങൾ പലപ്പോഴും അരിയൊക്കെ പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് പച്ചരി നിങ്ങൾ ഒരു പാത്രത്തിൽ അടച്ചു വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ കുറെ നാളം കഴിഞ്ഞ് ഇൻസെക്ട് ഇൻഫെസ്റ്റേഷൻ ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ യു ക്യാൻ സി ഫ്ലോർ അറ്റ് ദി ബോട്ടം ഓഫ് ദി കണ്ടെയ്നർ. So that is because the insect feeds on the internal content of the grain and the grain will be converted into flour, പൊടിയാക്കി മാറ്റും. So that is its capacity. The internal contents will be fed by the beetle as well as the grub, and it will be converted into flour. And the eggs are laid on grains, gunny bags, or cracks and crevices. Here, the latent infestation and all. And the source of infestation, I told you, previously used gunny bags. So this insect has the ability to remain hiding inside cracks and crevices, and it has the ability to lay eggs on gunny bags. So these are the characters: 3 mm in size, dark reddish brown in color, cylindrical in nature. The head is bent downwards and concealed under the thorax. Abdomen is tapering towards the apex. It is an internal feeder. It is a primary pest. Both adults as well as the grubs damage. It feeds on the, you can see the entire grain inside of the grain is fed by the insect, and you can see numerous holes on the grain. This is the picture of the grub. So this is with respect to lesser grain borer Rhizopatha dominica. Then comes to the next, Calosoprucus, the bruchids, the Chrysomelidae. This most of you might have observed because this is a very common pest. So we normally see this very frequently, and it is a major pest which causes damage to pulses. As I already told you, it has 3 species: Maculatus, Chinensis, and Analis. And one more character of this pest we had discussed yesterday. This is a pest which starts its infestation in the field itself. It has the ability to lay the eggs in the when the crop is in the field itself, and the pest insect will be carried over to storage. The adults are 3 to 4 mm in size, globular with long legs and antennae. Okay. You can see it is 3 to 4 mm, globular with long legs and antennae. Another typical feature is that the elytra doesn't cover the abdomen fully. That is one typical feature of that. The elytra do not cover the abdomen fully, and the elytra is patterned. You can see a pattern over the elytra. So the elytra is patterned, and elytra doesn't cover the abdomen fully. 3 to 4 mm, globular with long legs and antennae. And one typical feature is that here you can see some white spots on this green gram. Whatever white spots you see on this green gram are eggs of Calosoprucus. What the insect will do is it glues the eggs onto the grain. നിങ്ങൾ പയറ് മേടിക്കുമ്പോൾ എന്ത് പയറായാലും വൻപയറോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചെറുപയറോ ഏത് പയറ് മേടിക്കുകയാണെന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിലും ആ പയറിന്റെ മുകളിൽ വെളുത്ത കുത്തുകൾ പോലെ കാണുന്നുണ്ട് എങ്കിൽ those are eggs of Calosoprucus. The eggs are glued on or stuck onto the grains by the insect, and the adults are non-feeding. Once the egg hatches, the grubs bore into the grain, and it grubs feeds inside the grain, and the grains will be converted into hollow structures. The grubs bore into the grain, and the grain will be converted into hollow structures. And adults are non-feeding. Adult comes out of the grain, and adults we can see outside. Only the grubs are internal feeders. So it is a primary pest, mainly a pest of pulses. It's an internal feeder, and again the grubs will be converted into flour, just like the earlier pest, lesser grain borer Rhizopatha. So we have 3 species: Maculatus, Chinensis, and Analis. It infests both in the field as well as storage. Size is 3 to 4 mm, globular with long legs and antenna. Elytra is having pattern and doesn't cover the abdomen fully. The grains will be having scale-like eggs attached to it. It is a primary pest, and it is an internal feeder. Only the grubs are damaging, adults are non-feeding, and grains will be converted into flour by the insect. And one more brookit. With this, I will finish it for today. That is groundnut brookit Caryodon serratus. This Caryodon serratus, I have not seen it over here. This is a pest of tamarind and groundnut, belonging to the same family of Chrysomelidae and subfamily of Brucina. And this is larger in size. See the size. Most of the insects that we discussed till now are 3 mm in size. This is 5 to 7 mm in size. Globula with long legs and antennae. Elytra is light brown and do not cover the abdomen fully. You see, uh, 5 to 7 mm globula with long legs and antennae. One more typical feature you can see, the hind leg with femur is enlarged. That is one typical feature of the femur of the hind leg is enlarged. You can see it over here. This picture is more clear. This femur of hind leg is enlarged. And larva is carabiform and it is a primary pest of groundnut. This is a minor pest, so that's why I'm skipping it quickly. And rice bevel and all, I will take it tomorrow. Rice bevel cover a bit slow bit. Okay. So, anything you want to discuss? അരവിന്ദ് ആർക്കെങ്കിലും എല്ലാ വേവുകളും കുർക്കുലിയോണിയുടെ അല്ല ആണല്ലോ എല്ലാ ഓൾ വേവുൾസ് ആർ കുർക്കുലിയോണിഡ്സ് എന്താ രാംജിത്ത് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സംശയം
ടേബിള്
ആ
അപ്പൊ അതില് ഫാമിലി ഒക്കെ വേറെ വേറെ
വേറെ ഒന്നോ
വീടുകളല്ലേ കുർക്കുലിയോണ്ട്
അതെ 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 ആ റൈസ് വീവിൾ അല്ലേ ഉള്ളൂ റൈസ് വീവിൾ മാത്രമേ ഉള്ളൂ കുർക്കുലിയോണിഡ് വേറെ ഒന്നും നമ്മൾ വീവിള് പറഞ്ഞില്ലോ വീവിളിന് പേരൊന്നും പറഞ്ഞില്ലോ കോമൺ നെയിം ഇല്ല വേറെ ഒന്നും നമ്മൾ പറഞ്ഞില്ല കോമൺ നെയിം ഞാൻ ഇപ്പൊ ടേബിൾ ഒന്നും കൂടെ എടുത്ത് നോക്കട്ടെ ഇല്ല വേറെ ഒന്നുമില്ല വീവിൾ ഇല്ല ആ കോഫി ബീൻ വീവിൾ ഉണ്ട് അരേ സീരസ് ആ കോഫി ബീൻ വീവിൾ അത് നോക്കണ്ട അതൊക്കെ എന്താണ് കോമൺ നെയിം അല്ലേ തെറ്റാണ് ശരിക്കും കോഫി ബീൻ വീവിൾ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കോഫി ബീൻ ബീറ്റിൽ എന്ന് വേണമെങ്കിൽ നമുക്ക് പറയാം അപ്പൊ പിന്നെ ആ പ്രശ്നം ഒഴിവായല്ലോ മിസ്നോമർ ആണ് ശരിക്കും ഓക്കെ എനിത്തിങ് എൽസ് do we have a class at 10 10 മണിക്ക് ഉണ്ടോ
yes sir yes sir
okay